Ted Cruz just can't seem to catch a break. He was speaking this week at the Faith and Freedom Foundation, or maybe it's the Freedom and Faith Foundation. They probably have both and I don't really care. But look what happened to this poor sumbitch.
So what I want to say to the men and women here is two things. Number one, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for speaking out and working to retake our nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Southern Regional Director of Faith and Freedom Coalition, Virginia Galloway.
Peace. You couldn't hear, but she was smiling and she whispered, "You cuck." Jesus. He had, like, in his defense, he had him. They love that sort of BS.
Well, no, but also in their defense, they were right. They knew the theater of it. Hey, buddy, you just worked it up, crescendo,
yes.
Mic drop, you're done.
Yes.
Yeah, let's bring on the next load of BS.
Yes.
Right.
Like George Costanza, man, just leave him happy. You got him, just move on. And you also couldn't hear him because they actually cut his mic, that poor bastard. But what he said, and we should have really put in subtitles, was, "They're kicking me out. They're kicking me out the door." And if you don't know what I mean there, let's roll this next video, see if you can remember this from the Republican primary.
That's it? Thank you. They're kicking me out the door. You're kicking me out the door.
Governor, thank you very much for joining us today.
The forlorn head bob is the best part.
And I like that was the most pathetic thing I'd seen in a long time, but they didn't cut his mic. They let him say something.
I mean,
Ted Cruz
the most
is more pathetic.
Then he went over the top, you'll remember, with the please clap.
Yeah,
remember, that was
so many
even more pathetic.
So many cringeworthy moments.
Poor bastard.
But to continue the thought of like what happened with Ted Cruz is they were still trying to help him. Cutting the mic is because he's done, and we don't want something across a live mic.
It'll be even more awkward, right?
Yeah, if he actually says, "Yeah, I got those stupid some bitches," when do I get the hell out of here? You don't want that to go out.
Yeah.
But while it's always fun to make fun of Jeb Bush, and maybe someday we'll get back to that for the next primary, I guess. Let's beat on Ted Cruz a little bit more. So there, he was trying to be like passionate and fired up, and I've seen a pastor in the South in my day, and I'm going to try to do it, but he can't do it. He just comes across as artificial, and he comes across as even more artificial when he tries to be a tough guy. Let's watch.
So I got to ask, what are these things? Is Barack Obama coming? And we will protect our servicemen and women's constitutional right to keep and bear arms and defend themselves. That means the next time a jihadist walks into a recruiting center in Chattanooga, Tennessee, he's going to encounter the business end of firearms wielded by a dozen Marines. We will take on the EPA and the CFPB and the alphabet soup of government agencies that strangle small businesses, and we will unleash booming economic growth. I will go to Congress and we will pass fundamental tax reform. We will pass a simple flat tax. And when we do that, we should abolish the IRS. I will instruct the Federal Department of Education, which should be abolished. I will instruct the Federal Department of Education that Common Core ends today. Under no circumstances will Iran be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons. And if the Ayatollah doesn't understand that, we may have to help introduce him to his 72 virgins.
You smart motherfucker. That was from September 2015 at the Values Voter Summit. I always get it mixed up if it's values voters or
I think it's value voters.
It's values voter. I had to look it up. Okay. It's plural singular. Sorry. So he has this booming economic hand pocket like.
And I'm gonna tell Hulk Hogan that the Common Core ends today.
It's very WWE. Yeah, it really is. He's so over the top and just. I mean, it is laughable. I mean, I understand that audience wants that.
They liked it. They did like it. But that is exactly the only people that do. I mean, Ted Cruz has a small issue as a candidate, and granted, he became a senator and everything, but he has a small issue in that he's a weenie and nobody likes him, and that's true for not just all libs, but a lot of conservatives. And his own coworkers in the Senate despise this guy because there's something so incredibly oily and false about him. And not everybody gets to be that really rousing speaker. I've never done a WWE intro. I don't know if I'd do it well. I've done it off camera a lot, but I don't know if it transitioned well to an actual arena, so I don't try to do it, okay? But he wants to be that tough Republican, and I just don't think he can sell it.
I wanted to find the Lindsey Graham quote about Ted Cruz. What was the Lindsey Graham quote? He said, I like Ted Cruz, but if Ted Cruz were, somebody will, in the TYT family will tell me what it is. Something along the lines of, I like Ted Cruz, but if you were shot on the floor of the Senate, you'd have, no one would step forward as a witness. Yeah.
Wow.
Something to that effect. It was very, So he's not, to your point, he's not well liked because although it does play well in the room and it does play well to his base that has supported him and elected him, he can't extend it beyond it. It does play as artificial, it's crazy, and it is so much fun to see him just get yanked out. I mean, that was just brilliant.
That is true. Yeah, and by the way, this is obviously fun. That's one reason we're doing it. But if you're wondering, I mean, like, this is a guy who's still very young. He will be in future Republican primaries. So let's not let people forget between today and then that he's a weenie.
Yeah, and by the way, he's relevant, and he may make some modifications to his style, which might make him more palatable.
That's true.
And then he gets scary. Look, we laughed at Donald Trump. I mean, we really did. And
I still do.
Still, yeah.
But yes, you're right. We do understand that there's a
he's
threat
that
as well.
politician. He go for every moment. Like, he tries to be funny in other moments, angry in these ones, and then try to be conciliatory and then be like, I'm gonna take over. So he molds to whoever he thinks is gonna work, but it's all fake.
Yeah,
if he ever smooths it out, it could be dangerous.
Yeah, it's easy to mold yourself to an audience when your body is literally made of wax.
Membership helps fund the Young Turks. You know one great thing about that? That means we're not accountable to anyone but you guys. That's why we're strong together, because we built this show around you. Come build it even bigger and better at tytnetwork.com/join.